Alright, so this is going to be another game of Warno, obviously. It's going to be on Volcano. I'm playing 5th Panzer, and the focus is going to be the artillery, the Mars. Yeah, so I heard recently someone saying that it was pretty good, so I thought I would try to use it. I was trying to use some smaller rocket artillery earlier, and it just struggled a lot to do anything super useful with it besides damage cohesion. And I thought that this would be a good map for it because I played a couple games on Volcano, and I've played a few, but not. I played a few a while ago, but not for what feels like a really long time actually. And I don't know if it's the destruction games or what, but they seem to just get very stalematey and very grindy, or that it's the destruction on Volcano or Volcano itself. But I don't see Volcano that often, or I don't choose to play it that often either way. Um, so for those reasons, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was just these couple games that I played, but yeah. I do kind of think it's the design of the map though, because there's so much cover in the middle and the outsides are so open. It's very hard to push on either of those sides, especially with how effective anti-air is against helicopters and planes. Um, so it leaves most of the if you try to push on the sides, you're going to get countered probably. And where the safest place to establish yourself and to push is the center, which means you're just going to get the absolute crap bombed out of you. So that's just my observations from a couple of plays. So yeah, moving up the middle right now, I've got a couple of Jaegerführers in the Martyrs. And one of the reasons I bring them out is because they have red eyes, so they can provide some anti-air capabilities for themselves. I've got a few other things like the flak gun to try to take out any helicopters that pop up, and some whatever the German manpad is, and then some infantry, a couple Leopard 1s. And it's going to be a few minutes before I can bring out the Mars, but I've got these F4 Phantoms. Um, the Eagle guy just came out swinging. I don't think I'm gonna to grab that. But anyways, they use all their stuff and they start heading out. The MiG-29 tries to chase them down, but the F4F backs up the F-15s, saving them perhaps. I don't know if the MiG-29 is going to run out of ammo. So I'm going to drop my stuff now. Kind of, yeah, this side is a little bit weird. In hindsight, what I would have, because I just have this tiny little patch of trees right there, right? In hindsight, I would rather go either further left or further right, that big forest over there. But I think it had to do partly with where the road was, where the different zones were. And yeah, so you can see was it not Jägerführer, Panzergrenführer, but he was aiming the red eye. And we're gonna have a plane go flying past. Got some infantry for the left. Yeah, just interesting match overall. So yeah, they're my Leopard 1A5s. I didn't get them to do any like major hard fighting, but rather to just snipe some stuff. Another thing, hindsight again, I have, I think, a couple of the ATGM, like the Milan 2s on a vehicle, and I feel like using those would have been good as well. So maybe next time I'll try to use them more, especially across that open field. So yeah, now we can see our opponents are deploying a bunch of stuff. So that's what my recon little car has seen. And I'm grabbing some more recon, and there's the first Mars. I'm also going to do a dumb here, and I'm not going to move it very far. It'd be nice. I should have just deployed it backwards, honestly. But I'm going to try to hit this cluster of enemy troops. And we'll see if I cut back to teammates' cluster rocket artillery. And there goes one of my leopards, yeah. So I'm gonna launch like one rocket, I think. And then I'm gonna retarget. And then I'm gonna move because we're in a terrible spot. The howitzers there also not in a great spot. I think they're M109s. That's either a Conqueror's vehicle or a anti-air. I don't think I could actually see the effect of the shots on that one. I was looking at the replay window, not the actual gameplay big screen at that particular moment. So, but I knew there was stuff there, which is why I decided to attack it. I'm gonna move the Mars away and resupply it. And it is destruction, so what's really most important is the number of kills you get, which I feel like that might also be part of what made it so grindy, is people were being a lot more careful with their equipment. And yeah, see, getting counter-batteried. I think that one's for me. Yeah, that one looks like it's for me. Not the howitzers. So yeah, definitely shouldn't have fired at the entrance. Or at our spawn point. Although, I mean, really, if you know the spawns, you know the roads people come up. It's not too hard to pick them out. You just have to get lucky, I guess, for when stuff is actually coming in. Let's see. I really wanted to try to take out the Buratino, but my Leopard 1 sucks. Alright, so we miss. We're gonna reload. We're gonna miss. There's a T-80U chilling in the forest there, which is just gonna slice into these Abrams. I mean, that's some nice placement there. I finally get one hit, but like, come on, that's close miss for the Leopard 1, and then there's Spetsnaz pushing, and I get nuked. So yeah, the one Abrams survives. That was a lot of score for the other team. That was a nice position for that T-80U. And Mars number 2 is going to come in. And this is the Mars. The second one, rather, is the one that I'm going to be following more closely. And it will be following those rocket shots again. So I really just gotta find a target. I should have one soon. I'm going to pull it off the road as quickly as I can and just group them together. I've been playing around with the grouping of them and the resupply. It's been a little bit interesting, but that's a juicy target. So here we are. Got the Mars just out in the field. Got some jets flying overhead. Got other artillery going elsewhere. And this is the first game I'd used these units, so I wasn't really sure what like the spread and like the effectiveness would be. Killed something back there, I don't know what. Killed that GM carrier, damaged the T-80 BV. Just a mess, yeah. And then you see, yeah, the tanks are kind of getting away. Yeah, so now I'm going for the more difficult shots lining up on a unit on the move. Oh yeah, I guess Pop is getting the shots off. Damaged one pretty nicely. So they're pretty damaged, but they're escaping. Oh, and there's the Buratino shots coming in. And that thing just wrecks that. Like, it's very obvious where the blue side, I don't know if the color side switched, but in this case, right? It's very obvious where the blue side is going to be. They're just going to be in these tree lines and this little patch of houses. Like this, just getting nuked. And that area got hit several times. I'm going to try to come up with a Leopard 1 again. Actually kind of zoomed in on the Buratino strike there. Leopard's going to push up, but they're already moving away because they had to move up kind of dangerously closely. And the mortars are coming down, which of course is not really going to do anything without like an extended amount of time and like 40 mortars all firing. I think I do have mortars in this deck, but I didn't really use them. I think I could get like 8 or something, which is, I think, fairly decent. All the tanks are clustered up again, but I don't have my rockets ready. Sad times. We do have a teammate's howitzer, which is just gonna... that's like the other thing with the howitzers. I don't know what caliber these are, but they're not like huge. And you need a lot firing at once if you want to try to take out a heavy tank. Which the Mars kind of is by itself. It's just, it shoots a lot. Got another T-80BV. We've got the Buratino sitting there. I didn't see it move back up, I think, because I wasn't looking at reading. And those trucks actually covered the icon. I might have tried to snipe it with the Leopard 1 again. But the truck icon, like, useless. The truck icons covered it. So, and then I was distracted by the tanks. But look, it's right there. Somebody killed it. Somebody killed it with what? With an Apache. Okay, nice. Nice. I don't know who that was, but the Apache killed it. The Apache is in a dangerous spot. Apache's gonna fall back. And that little village right there has just been absolutely annihilated. I'm gonna call my Phantoms in again. They're really slow, so we'll just not fly over the almost guaranteed enemy anti-air net. Yep, just too slow. Although I think I maybe got... oh no, it survived. Shell that center area again. Here is a slight issue in which I think we maybe got a little bit overextended. Like pushing really far into this zone with isolated units just to try to push, and maybe should have had more support. But we've got a large T-55 push coming. Oh, Challenger just got destroyed, sad. So I'm going to try to lead them, sort of. They're starting to shoot, so... probably want to make up your mind. Are they destroying a Challenger Mark II right now? Challenger's gonna get taken out. So here's my strikes coming in. We do nail that tank and then force them over to the right where we've got some allied equipment. There's the finishing of that engagement. Then the enemy moves up some other stuff from their side as well. But it's 55 down, and the last one backs off. That is the end of that. And I work on reloading still. There's all the burning tanks. So I decided now to bring in some heavier tanks as well, and I got to save up a little bit to get the leader tank that I also want to give them the increased accuracy and cohesion, but part of it's really just the accuracy. I want to be able to get a few accurate shots off and then back off back into this tree shield. We've got a T-80UD now coming in the back. But Faf is going to shoot now. Don't know if I followed this one.
Warning. Haben Sie neue Zielkoordinaten?
The Apaches are now for the T-80UD, and it's just not caring. And they're getting hit by the is that Strela? Oh, I did follow this round of rockets in. Nice, so I think that was at least one of the T-80s killed. That place just continues to get even more flattened. And now I've got my Leopards. So everything is just, yep, pretty static. Maybe should have moved that infantry on the left up a little bit. Like I can see there's a T-80UD coming down the road. And whoever that was, they were just kind of yo-yoing a tank ball. T-80UD, so what can we do to it? Very little, honestly. They're just gonna back off. We're gonna shoot at it even more times and do like tiny amounts of damage. Another strike on that central cluster of buildings. Yeah, one guy's still alive there. And then it was at this point that, in watching the replay, that I realized that my the mod to keep the bodies around wasn't on. Otherwise, there should have probably been a bunch of those trees. But what are you gonna do? Reactivate the mod for your next match. Good, taking out that supply truck, buddy. Or transport truck. I guess it is points for us, but what am I even looking at right now? I guess where those shells bring in. The Buratino has moved back up. Ouch time. Yeah, I'm lucky I was on the edge of that. Ooh, that was a nice hit on that BV. I was thinking about targeting the Buratino, but it's probably going to move. So. Oh, and there's a bunch of stuff pushing through the woods now on the left. And that tank is gonna get away. Very, very great. Like, so hard to actually kill them. I should have got the two. I think I may have just miscounted how much stuff I had, how many resource points I had, but I should have grabbed the leader leopard and the two, and then two ones. But that was a mistake. I often build around having the leader to give the veterancy, so I have more availability. Yeah, took out something. Little truck, I think. And Mars 2 is getting ready for a strike now also. Oh, come on. This is, there we go. Took out the T-80BV. And then with that dead, push up a little bit. We've got the Mars launching, and we get a few leopard shots off. And we're not really going to do a whole lot of damage. Also kind of fixes the T-80s into the target area a little bit. But then again, not really that much. They move forward too far. I didn't really have I didn't have enough tanks to try to like keep the T-80s there, and I didn't really expect them to follow me back, but they did. So maybe sabotaged my own shot a little bit. And now the pack side's gonna throw the KDA Schutzen at us. 2 units, it's like 14 men each, and they're just gonna get annihilated. I mean, unsupported, they might have won against the Grand Martyr, because it's only a 5-man squad, but... Oh, 3 actually KDA Schutzen. There's one more central, and it's just getting melted. That's like the worst spot. But if you wanted to do reconnaissance by fire, that's a way to do it. They can now see where a bunch of our stuff is that's shooting. Filling my trucks back up. And yep, so everything in this middle area pretty static. Um, zoom in on those guys getting destroyed. I may or may not show that. Probably not going to show that. It's not worth it. I didn't do the hide the HUD. We've got stuff moving down that left road again. I don't think that's the T-80 UDs, but it might be. Then we've got the Conquerors shooting at my tanks. Gonna back them off again. Gonna have to buy some more supply. Fortunately, at least, the Milan from my teammate actually hits, so that was nice. And then we're gonna have single howitzer shots coming in on the T-80 BV, so it's gonna leave because that's not gonna kill it unless it's asleep. But we do have a nice view of the Mars in a field. It's actually not the greatest of fields. Just going around looking for a nicer view for it. The dirt fields are a little bit flat. It's nicer when they've got the grass or the wheat, I think. It's more realistic. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to get some more troops for this left forest, and realize it's not set up super well for thick forest fighting. Like tree line to tree line, sure. But just like super thick forest, no, because you really need fire for that. There's less like lanes of fire and fire support that you can get like 500 to 1500 meters with the light vehicles and with other infantry. So I need a mix of like the standard AT infantry and the anti-infantry infantry. But yep, there's more fire coming in towards our backside, and which going on really close, but I can't get to it because of all this stuff. So helicopter gets deleted, and we're almost done with our aim time. Blew up something. I believe that was maybe an anti-air thing. I think the Strela is about 80 points. Yeah, that looks like one. We did at least hit something. But the T-80 UD escaped. Gotta protect those expensive tanks. And we get another Buratino strike, and again, all these units, all these Abrams just dead. And then yeah, so this is what I should have done is probably either let them come to the edge of the forest and then I have all of this fire support, or had the flames to actually hold the forest, but I didn't have the flames obviously, and I tried to still hold the forest. Or just these people who were playing in the middle and in that forest side were pretty good. That could be it too. So now more KDA Schützen's gonna come down the middle and just get annihilated. They may have been getting like scouted or something. I should have maybe shot that supply, but I didn't. Just backed off because I didn't want to overcommit. There's, on the other hand, ATGM coming in. That might still be that T-80 that's been floating around that forest for the last like 20, 25 minutes. So back off, repair. We got the Mars roaming around.
Wird ausgeführt. Ende. Weder Freund noch Feind. Nur lohnende Ziele.
And supply juggling time. So those 2,500 supply trucks, they can do like 2.5 or maybe 3 resupplies of the 12 rocket salvos, but yeah, then they run out. And my F, it's just, their range is so bad. And I can't really what I meant to do is have them flying around all the time, but obviously I didn't do that because I was getting too distracted between micro and the rockets, so didn't happen. But I wanted to have them flying around so that they could have a quicker reaction time. And yep, got a bunch of tanks lining up nicely in the middle now. Unless they keep moving, in which case then it's less nice. But we're almost reloaded. So I'm just gonna actually, yep, tell it to get ready. You can start aiming. Oh, or maybe they were done anyways. But yeah, we do have some really nice reconnaissance over the middle. And they have no cover, so got some nice launch in the background as well. Oh, they're getting double clustered. That's what's happening. Nice, there we go. I absolutely wrecked that cluster with cluster munitions. My Leopard 1A5 is managing to survive still. Got to back it up and get some more smoke. And then I'm going to get some people at least into the edge of the woods so that we can be warned if anything pushes out towards us. And yeah, moving the Mars away, getting counter batteried. I left one of the supply trucks there. And it got hit, but it's just a supply truck. I don't even think it was the bit 2, so we escaped that. Definitely had some retaliatory fire coming in, and I'm going to be looking a little bit more towards doing some counter battery as well, since if they're shooting at me, I want to be shooting at them. Might destroy some stuff, at worst, give them something to think about it, make it a little bit more difficult for them. Yeah, and I'm kind of running out of infantry here. The stuff that keeps getting pushed through this left little forest is kind of wrecking me. So I definitely did not do that part very well. Yeah, this is me looking around the wheat field and the Mars. Up to 80 points. I think that was the anti-air. Also a couple supply things. And just juggling over the supplies. So I've got a nice reload station set up for later. And I happened to catch this guy shooting at my former location for Pfaff instead of Eber something, right? So that was some counter battery. So now I'm going to counter battery. And that was pretty nice. Second cluster nailed it. yeah, nice bit of points there. Got everybody moved around. And now, yeah, see, so we were a little overextended on the left, and now the enemy's really pushing there a lot. Stupid Buratino. Just hitting that same spot over and over and over. So I'll move up my leopards, I guess. But then I see that pack tank blob moving forward. They've got AA, they got smoke, they've got everything going on. I've lost my AT infantry for the most part. These are all flamers, which kind of had the order backwards. Should have brought the flamers in first for the forest and the AT to secure the areas, but what are you going to do? Not much, evidently. Got a nice view of the Mars in a grassy field, too. So, yeah, so they're going to start pushing forward. I've got a few things here. I'm moving the leopards over to have like a kind of secondary line, so if they start pushing out, I should get first shots. There's also a bigger kill effect than I was expecting. See how like the line of sight's cut off there, and those things are pretty heavy too. Bunch of T-80 UDs. I don't know if I was able to get any shots off at them really. The leopards just like, they can't stand up to those tanks. Maybe a 2A4, but T-80 UDs versus a bunch of T-3s. If they pushed up together, I'm pretty sure I would lose that. Kind of indecisive about my location there too, and they're gonna back off. If I'd done it like 30 seconds before, because they were kind of waiting, then I think I could have hit them, but yeah, they're able to move away. And now my infantry is going to get stuck in with theirs. So this is a lot of close range fight fire with fire, and I would have zoomed in on it, but again, corpse mod did the same. So, but if there's two T-80s, that's a good enough target. And if you at the bottom right now, that's one of our forward supply bases getting destroyed. And also the Buratino shooting, so lots of stuff going on there. That's because a guy was shooting his artillery from next to the supply, and he got at least 2 of our supply bases blown up by doing that. I'm going to be shooting. So we at least damaged the T-80 BBs, so that one was able to be finished off. And then blew something up. I don't think it was the Buratino. Yeah, see, both of those depots were destroyed. And I think there may even have been another one that was destroyed. Although, no, I think those stick around for the whole battle, so maybe not. Then he's going to move over to my supply, so I turned the supply off. I was like, no, thank you. And they're attempting to counter battery me once again. The Mars have been doing quite a bit of damage. So the Buratino is quite damaged, but it's still there, still being annoying. And I don't think either of them are reloaded, otherwise I could have tried to finish it off. the downside of having actually fired both of them too close together.
Response sequence. Prepare to engage. Schwere Feuerkampf Ende.
And yeah, so that
Enemy at 3 o'clock high.
he did actually maybe stop. Nope, retargeted. And then a teammate who did get his supply destroyed decided to nuke him, saving our third supply base. And we got another launch going on. There's just so many 55s there. I've not reloaded though, so I don't know. Or were my supply trucks out? I guess they must have been out. And this is the kind of interesting thing actually, is I've barely used any of my supply point. And I've been shooting these Mars like pretty much as often as I can. I guess the initial supply trucks I brought in had a huge amount of supply, but it's not been too bad. I guess part of it is just that they don't shoot often enough. If I had their artillery also, it would have been more of a problem. If more people were using my supply point, but they weren't because we at least started with more supply. So there's the tank blob, single M1 Abrams, not going to fare too well against it. We're almost ready. And then they move. See, like that would have been a nice place to try to ambush from. However, I haven't cleared out this forest, so I mean they've lost stuff in the forest, but I don't really have a hefty presence there. So I feel like this game has kind of just evolved into an artillery slugfest because everyone's pretty embedded. I haven't been looking at the right side very much, but just based on the map, or the mini-map, it seems like it's been pretty static. On the left side, the pact is sort of... Oh, actually, they're really pushing in here because there's nothing in that tree line thing. Dodge those ATGMs. However, there's a bunch of Apaches here, so... Ooh, T-80UD? Oh, yeah, T-80UD. That's going to be painful. My F4Fs decided not really to target anything useful. Called them in, wasted 500 points, 300 points maybe, which would have... Almost anything else would have been more useful for that center area. Or moving over leftwards, going back into the forest, but not what happened. I guess the Apaches are going to move up a bit. And you want to launch some rockets? Guess what? I've got rockets for you. And counter battery. I got distracted by the tank push. Big boom. Yeah, so I almost lost the Mars there. Uh, had to rush for some supply for it. And yeah, so they're moving up. They've got a Malka kind of in the middle. Bertino there, so I'm gonna work on moving my tanks around. Obviously this left side has been a little bit concerning, but they're really close now to the score cutoff, and we are somewhat close to the score cutoff. It's very tight. I'm gonna rush that single Pioneer guy over to try to screen a little bit. 1,300 points down. I mean, depending on how a couple strikes go, you could recover from this deficit, but 1,600 points down. Killed somebody in the force, the infantry group. They did hit my leader tank. And then there's more, so. I don't remember if those guys have AT or not. I haven't memorized all of them perfectly, unfortunately. T-80U destroyed. I think that was by the Leopard, maybe. But that'll be the end of it. And here are the kills and losses. Ah, man. I mean, also the supply points. There are a lot of points for the opposing team to get. Yeah, so there is Paf and especially Eberhardt's kills. That's Eberhardt being the Mars that we were following around. Iglas, bunch of supplies, but also some T-55s, T-80, and then down towards the bottom, of course, the MLRS that we took out as well. So that was pretty solid. And yeah. First game with the Mars. I've got another one or two that I played, trying to focus on it, so I'll be working on those as well. I think one at least was a low income. I don't know about the other, but yeah.